They call Andy North's story horrible. They say he's the worst two-time winner in golf history. But here's what they don't tell you. This man didn't just win one US Open, he won two. And that's something only 16 men in golf history have ever done. Picture this. Oakland Hills Country Club, 1985. The final round of the US Open. Andy North stands on the tee, 2 shots behind Chen Sicheng from Taiwan. The pressure is crushing. This is golf's toughest test. One mistake, and it's over. But Chen makes the mistake first. A quadruple bogey 8 on the 5th hole. Suddenly, the door's wide open. The lead starts bouncing around like a pinball. North, Chen, Dennis Watson, Payne Stewart, Dave Barr, nobody can grab control. Then something magical happens. North finds his zone, the same zone that separates champions from everyone else. He takes a 2-shot lead going into the final hole. The crowd holds its breath. North makes bogey, but it doesn't matter. He's the only player to finish under par all week. His second US Open title is secure. But this wasn't his first rodeo. 7 years earlier at Cherry Hills, North had already proven he could handle the heat. That 1978 victory was pure drama. He held a 4-shot lead going into the final round. Then the wheels nearly came off. The final 5 holes were a nightmare. 4 over par, his lead evaporating with every shot. The famous 18th hole at Cherry Hills stared him down like a monster. This hole ate golfers alive. No room for error. Miss here and you're done. North stepped up to his approach shot with everything on the line. His hands were probably shaking. His heart was definitely pounding. But champions are made in moments like this. He hit it close. 4 feet for the win. The putt rolled in. Bogey 5. Good enough for a 1-stroke victory over J.C. Snead and Dave Stockton. That's when the golf world started calling him scrappy. Not pretty, not perfect, but tough as nails when it mattered most. He had this ability to grind out victories when everything was falling apart around him. Here's where the story gets weird, though. Those 2 US Open victories, they represent 2 of only 3 PGA Tour wins in North's entire career. Think about that for a second. Most guys win dozens of tournaments and never sniff a major championship. North won 3 tournaments total, and 2 were US Opens. The media had a field day with this statistical anomaly. They labeled him the worst multiple Open winner ever. Can you imagine? You accomplished something only 15 other men in history have done, and people call you the worst at it. It's like saying someone is the worst person to ever climb Mount Everest twice. But there's a reason North's win total stayed so low, and it has nothing to do with his talent. His body was falling apart. We're talking about a man who underwent about 15 surgeries over 50 years. Knees, back, neck, elbow. His body was a complete war zone. It all started in childhood. A knee injury forced him to quit contact sports entirely. Golf became his refuge from physical limitations that would haunt him for decades. But the injuries followed him to the professional ranks like a shadow he couldn't escape. 6 knee surgeries alone. Right elbow bone spurs that wouldn't heal. Chronic shoulder problems that flared up constantly. Neck issues that made it painful to even look down at the ball. Each surgery meant months of recovery. Each recovery meant missed tournaments and lost opportunities. The surgeries severely limited his playing time. He couldn't compete full-time like other professionals on tour. While they were grinding out wins week after week, traveling constantly, North was fighting just to stay healthy enough to play. He managed to compete full-time until 1992. Then his battered body finally said enough. And if you love watching sports with real heart like Andy North showed throughout his career, you'll love Fubo. It's got everything from underdog wins to major comebacks that'll inspire you. Check it out below. In 1991, North faced his scariest opponent yet, skin cancer. 5 separate operations to remove cancer from his nose and cheek. This wasn't just about golf anymore. This was about pure survival. He calls himself one of the lucky ones because he caught it in time. Many others weren't so fortunate. Most players would have packed it in at this point, retired quietly, lived off their memories and endorsement deals. Not Andy North. In 1992, he joined ESPN as a golf analyst. Suddenly, he found his second calling in the sport he loved. North brought something completely different to golf commentary. He was funny. He was clever. He had this dry wit that made even boring tournaments entertaining. But most importantly, he knew exactly what it felt like to win when everything was on the line. Tour players actually started watching his preview shows before major championships. They wanted his insights on course strategy and mental preparation. Think about that. Professional golfers watching a TV analyst to help them play better. That's the ultimate compliment to his expertise. He even created this hilarious segment where he dressed up as a doctor and used a modified formula to pick tournament winners. He'd toss white placards off the set to eliminate groups of players one by one. It sounds silly, but it showed his personality perfectly. Golf commentary can be incredibly boring. North made it genuinely entertaining. But North also became golf's most honest truth teller. He absolutely hated when course setups got too tricky or unfair. He believed championships should reward pure skill, not artificial luck. His most famous quote says it all: "You don't want to see the national championship decided by some tricked-up nonsense on the second-to-last hole." He'd openly criticize courses that forced players to land balls 20 yards short of greens just to get close to front pins, or setups that made perfectly struck shots roll off into distant collection areas. "This is not a links course," he'd say bluntly. "Stop trying to make it one." This wasn't just some television announcer complaining from the broadcast booth. This was a two-time U.S. Open champion who knew exactly how hard these tournaments should be. His critiques carried serious weight because he'd been there under pressure. He'd won there twice. North's personal cancer battle also sparked something much bigger than golf. In 2008, he and his wife Susan started the Andy North and Friends Initiative. Their goal was beautifully simple: raise money for cancer research at the University of Wisconsin. Their results have been absolutely incredible. Over $16 million raised for cancer research. Lives saved through funding, breakthrough treatments. Hope restored for families facing the same diagnosis North once received. The golf world took serious notice of his humanitarian efforts. In 2013, North received the prestigious Vince Lombardi Award of Excellence, specifically for his cancer research fundraising. This wasn't about golf accomplishments anymore. This was about using his platform and celebrity to fight a disease that almost killed him. Even in his 70s, North keeps fighting every single day. In 2022, he needed hip replacement surgery. The hip had been bothering him for 5 straight years. Most people his age would slow down significantly. North was walking within 2 hours of surgery. 5 weeks later, he was playing 27 holes of golf. He also serves on the USGA Executive Committee now. The same organization whose course setups he criticized for years now wants his input. They actively seek his perspective on tournament conditions. That's the ultimate professional validation. Today, Andy North stands as something much more than just a golfer. He's a genuine survivor, a relentless fighter, a man who turned a career full of physical setbacks into an inspiring story of pure mental strength and determination. Those critics calling him the worst multiple Open winner completely missed the point. North didn't win the most tournaments on tour, but he won the ones that mattered most, under the most intense pressure imaginable, against the toughest fields in golf, on the hardest courses, all while his body was literally breaking down around him. His real victory isn't measured in trophy counts or prize money totals. It's measured in pure resilience, in the ability to keep fighting when absolutely everything tells you to quit, in finding completely new ways to contribute when the old ways don't work anymore. Andy North's story isn't horrible at all. It's genuinely inspirational. He proved that greatness isn't about quantity of wins. It's about rising to the occasion when it matters most. And when life knocked him down repeatedly, he got back up and found new mountains to climb. That's not tragedy. That's triumph in disguise.